All right. Mr. Trump, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
So I want to start by asking, Hillary Clinton did make history. I know she's not your favorite person, but she made history by becoming the first female presidential nominee from a major party in American history. Do you acknowledge that? Is that a positive step for the country?
She's got bad judgment. Everything she's touched has turned bad, whether it's Syria or Libya or the migration or the beginning of the Iran deal. She's got horrible judgment. She voted for the war in Iraq, another mistake. She was in favor of NAFTA, another mistake. Got bad judgment. We're going to have a woman president, but it shouldn't be her. She would be catastrophic for our country.
Some other election, some other day, you think there should be a female president?
Well, no, it's going to happen, absolutely. Probably won't be very long, but it should not be her.
Clinton said of you last night, a man you can bait with a tweet is not a man we can trust with nuclear weapons. What do you say back to her?
Well, that was just a soundbite written up by her people, and it's inappropriate that she says it because she knows it's not so. And my Twitter following is, I guess, between Facebook, Twitter, etc., we have 22 million people, and she doesn't like that because that's pretty dominant. But she also said that I was not doing well in a campaign, and I beat everybody in the campaign. It was just a soundbite. I'm beating her. Now, as you saw, the new polls just came out, and I'm beating her. So, look, she lies. She's dominated by professionals that write her these questions, and they wrote the speech for her. And she made a lot of false statements in the speech.
So we've talked a lot about Hillary Clinton's judgment. She's taken questions from the press. She's taken, a beating from you at times over her judgment. I'm curious about your judgment. You made this statement about Russia the other day and saying, it'd be nice if they put her emails out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me just tell you, first of all, that was said sarcastically, and everybody knew that. It was a sarcastic statement. And the reason it was sarcastic is because she deleted 33,000 or got rid of somehow 33,000 emails. And how you can do that is something that people should think of. So when I make a statement like that, I'm making it sarcastic because I'm comparing it to the 33,000 probably illegally deleted emails. Now, the head of the FBI said she lied. The head of the FBI said she's negligent. This person's going to be president? She's negligent.
So I understand you're saying you meant it sarcastically, but you're running for president. I mean, you get a megaphone unlike anybody's megaphone. And if you become president, words matter so much.
Sure, but everybody knew that was sarcastic. You do too. But everybody knew that was sarcastic. That was sarcasm. And frankly, it really related to the fact that she got rid of 33,000 emails. What a terrible thing to do. Wouldn't you love to know what was on those emails?
So you've talked before about switching tones to being more presidential as this campaign goes on. To someone who's in the middle, I mean, because there are people who have strong opinions about you either way, but to somebody who's in the middle and doesn't know whether to like the fact that you shoot from the hip at times or is scared that you shoot from the hip because these are words that could come out of the president's mouth, the leader of the free world.
Sure.
What do you say to that?
Well, I think we're doing very well. I mean, we're leading in the polls. They're tired of the stupidity. When you look at our country, the way we're being run, they're tired of the stupidity, and that's all it is. Whether you look at ISIS and the way we're fighting ISIS, or our borders, or trade deals that are so horrible by the way, for Colorado and every other state in the union, you look at the way our country is run, you look at how horribly our veterans are being taken care of. You look at how high our taxes are. Our taxes are through the roof. One of the highest nations anywhere in the world. I'm going to cut taxes, by the way. Big league. We're going to cut regulations, taxes. You look at the assault on our Second Amendment by Hillary Clinton. You look at the fact that she wants to double taxes. She's going to double your taxes. I think that people are tired of it, and I think they want change. And she's not changed. She's trying to now say she's changed, but she's not changed. She's been there for 30 years. She's been doing this for 30 years. There's no change. You're going to have the same policies. It's going to be 4 more years of Obama, which is no good.
I want to drill down on a couple Colorado issues. So Chris Christie was one of the first sort of establishment guys to really jump in with both feet for you. He gets talked about as a possible AG pick, but he was also the only presidential candidate who was campaigning saying he would use federal authority to shut down sales of recreational marijuana in states like Colorado.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, no.
You wouldn't let him?
No.
Even if you picked him as AG?
I don't know. I mean, you're asking me. I wouldn't do that, no.
Yeah. So you think Colorado should be able to do what it's doing?
No, I think it's up to the states, yeah. I'm a states person. I think it should be up to the states, absolutely.
And while we're on the topic of sort of state, local control, fracking, big issue in Colorado. We actually had a couple of cities here where the voters said they wanted to ban or put a pause on fracking in their city limits. They weren't allowed to do it by the courts. however you feel about fracking, should voters
Well, I'm
be
in favor
able
of
to
fracking,
control
but
it?
I think that voters should have a big say in it. I mean, there's some areas maybe they don't want to have fracking, and I think if the voters are voting for it, that's up to them.
Should they be able to ban it in their town if they vote for it?
It could very well be. I mean, I'd have to see the specific instance, but it could very well be. But fracking is something that we need. Fracking is something that's here, whether we like it or not. But if a municipality or a state wants to ban fracking, I can understand that.
Okay. How would you characterize your relationship with Vladimir Putin?
I have no relationship with Putin other than, I think, to say that he has said very good things about me over the years.
You've said before that you had a relationship with him.
No, I don't. Well, I have no relationship with Vladimir Putin. I did.
You did? What was
No.
it like?
What did I say? You said I said?
You were quoted in an interview, I believe it was 2012. I'd have to go back and look at it.
I don't know. You'd have to show me the interview. No, I don't know Vladimir Putin.
Okay. Hillary Clinton pulled down ads in Colorado suggesting she feels pretty comfortable here, pretty confident that she might beat you.
Well, I think I'm doing well. No,
Colorado?
I think we're going to win Colorado. I think we should win the state. We polled very well here, and I think we're going up. We're in a nice trend. We're leading overall now. As you know, we're leading in Pennsylvania, Ohio. We're leading in Florida. I think we're going to do well in Colorado. We're going to be here a lot. You know, I have a lot of friends in Colorado, and we're doing, I think, great in Colorado. So we'll see. But I'll be back a lot.
So out west, the federal government owns 47% of the land.
Right.
Is that too much?
Well, I'm going to look into that, and it's a question I get asked an awful lot out here, and I'm going to take a very serious look at that, and I will be. We'll get back to you on that one because a lot of people are wanting to really have policy on that, and I'm going to come up with it, and I'm in the process of doing it right now, and I have some pretty strong opinions, but I won't talk about it right now.
You've definitely seen anger on it, though. You know, you've had the whole
there's
Clive
great
Bundy
anger.
episode.
No,
what do you make of that? What do you make of that? The whole hold up at the refuge?
Yeah, that was a tough period of time. That was very tough. There's a lot
Did they go too far?
There's a lot of emotion. Well, I'm not going to comment on who went too far, but I will tell you there's a lot of emotion on that issue.
Yeah. So I want to tell you a story. This guy who drove me to the airport last night. Going to become a citizen. He's from India. Going to become a citizen in a month or two, and he says he's leaning towards voting for you because it's going to be his first election. So you like that because he likes that you talk tough on illegal immigration.
Okay.
He wants people to do it above board. But he also told me he thought it was more practical to punish these people with extra taxes or do something like that rather than deport 11 million people.
No, I understand that, and there are some people think you should do that, but again, I've said that we are going to have very strong borders, but people are going to come in, tremendous numbers of people are going to come in, but they're going to come in legally. They have to come in legally. If we don't have strong borders, and if they don't come in legally, we don't have a country.
He wants to know how you're going to pay to get rid of 11 million people who are
Well,
here
he's going to have to watch. If you look, Obama has taken 2.5 million people out. You know, the laws are already on the books, just so you understand. Right now, he took 2.5 million people.
I understand. You want to enforce the laws.
All I want to do is enforce the law. I don't want new laws. I don't want old laws. We're just going to keep the law just the way we have it right now. Obama, people don't know this, he's taken out 2.5 million people. Nobody knows that. Nobody ever mentions that. But so we're going to enforce the laws.
You made a big point in the primary about self-funding your campaign and how that made you independent, not beholden to people.
Yeah.
What do you say now that you're fundraising?
Well, I am self-funding my campaign. If you look at my campaign...
Oh, I understand you're putting money.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
I put in about close to $60 million for the primaries. Now, since then, I put in a lot of money toward the general. But I'm also raising money and helping the Republicans raise money for the Republican National Committee and for the Republican Party. So I'm raising a lot of money for the Republican National Committee and for the Republican Party, but I'm also putting in a lot of my own money and spending a lot of money.
The tone we heard out of the Republican convention was very much centered around this theme that the country's in trouble. It's on the wrong track. Democrats, sort of the opposite. They want to continue the legacy of President Obama. They feel like we're heading in a positive direction. Make the case to me if I'm on the fence. Why is the country in trouble?
I think that, first of all, the Republican Party is very unified, other than a few people. I mean, but for the most part, is very unified. You saw that in the convention. You see that in the polls. I mean, I had a tremendous jump. I had one of the biggest jumps that anybody can remember coming out of the polls. Somebody said I had actually as much as 10 points. I'm leading Hillary Clinton, and I think that's because we had a great convention. We really had a great convention. People want to see borders. They want to see lower taxes. They want to see less regulation. They want to see a strong military, hopefully not to be used, but they want to see a strong military. They want to have Common Core ended. They want education to be local. They want Obamacare terminated. They want it terminated, and they want a much better alternative, which we're going to do. I mean, we're going to have a much better alternative and a much less expensive alternative. Second Amendment has to be protected. Second Amendment, so important, has to be protected. Hillary Clinton is essentially going to abolish the Second Amendment.
One of the first words I hear out of a lot of people's mouths when I talk to them about you is angry. You an angry guy?
No, I'm a happy guy, and I'm a content person when things are going right too. Things are going very badly for the country. The country is angry, and I think that's one of the reasons I'm doing so well, because we have people that are incompetent running our country. Whether it's borders or taxes or regulations or military, you look at what they've done to our military with the depletion of our military. The way they take care of our vets is horrible. So I think I can tell you there's a great anger from very good people and very smart people out there toward the way the country is run.
Ted Cruz outperformed you in the primary in Colorado at the delegate count was 33 to 4.
Excuse me, he didn't outperform me. If it would have been a vote, I would have won the vote. Every poll had me winning the vote big in Colorado. I learned a lot from Colorado, because in Colorado, it was like an inside job. And I said, what happened in Colorado? Where's the vote? The people didn't vote. And that's why you had people marching in the streets, because the polls showed that I would have won. So I won almost all the states. I won by we had almost 14 million votes overall, the highest vote in the history of the Republican primaries. And had they had a people's vote in Colorado, we would have won that easily.
You still got a problem with the Republican Party in Colorado?
Well, I was unhappy with what they did, because they basically gave it to the bosses instead of the people, and the people were very unhappy too. Had they had a vote, I would have won the Republican Party nomination in Colorado. All right, one more question.
One more question. What is the tone we should expect from Donald Trump going forward between now and November? Will it be different than what we've seen?
No, I think
so
it'll
far?
be very similar. I mean, I want to keep it similar. I've been very well. It's a strong tone. It's a fair tone. It's a tone that we mean business. We want law and order. We want strong military. We want our borders, all of the things that I've been telling you. We want lower taxes. Our taxes are being dissipated. We're one of the highest tax nations in the world. We want less regulation. We need to protect the Second Amendment, all of the things that I've been telling you, and the tone is going to be a firm tone, but it's going to be a tone to win. You know, I've been winning all my life. That's what I do, is I win. Hillary Clinton's a loser. I mean, she's somebody that makes bad decisions. She's got horrible judgment. Bernie Sanders said she's got bad judgment. And that's exactly what she's got. You look at the decisions she's made over her 30 years, and she's certainly not for change, because if you look and you take a look at what's gone on, she's been there for 30 years. And now she's saying she's going to change. She's not going to change. And besides that, she's totally controlled by Wall Street and her special interests.
Got to follow up, because you brought up Bernie. He said his people aren't going to go for you. They're just not going to happen, he says. What do you say back to
Bernie made a big mistake, because Bernie made a deal, and I think he's got buyer's remorse. I think his people are going to go for me because of trade, because he was right about only one thing. He was right about trade. I mean, he said that we're being ripped off on trade, and we are. So I think he's lost control of his people. He made a terrible mistake. He sold out to the devil, and his people are very upset about it. And you saw that last night. And you even saw it with him. He's sitting there and they're talking about him, and he looks like he's in a state of major depression. So no, Bernie Sanders he made a bad deal. He ruined his legacy. Had he not made that deal, his legacy would have been terrific. But he made that deal. He sold out to the devil.
Donald Trump,
Okay,
the
thank you.
Republican presidential nominee. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.